Hi guys, another day, another Tory scandal. So, with some pretty out there allegations against the MP Mark Menzies, the Conservatives had hoped that the Angela Rayner non-story would continue to fill the headlines of the right-wing press. Grant Shapps, who must have drawn the shortest straw, was thrown out here to make up the usual excuses. The Defence Secretary tried to convince the public that every party has its dodgy individuals, but unlike Angela Rayner's story, we must not engage in speculation or debate and trial by media. Kay Burley pushed back on his attempts to ignore this story, which was great to hear. Have a listen.
But I'm not privy to any of these details, so you're asking me. I thought I was coming on to talk about the situation in Iran.
We'll come to that, Mr. Shapps.
And
we'll
the
come
Middle
to
East.
that. We'll come to that if you don't mind, Mr. Shapps. We'll come to that. In the next door constituency of Blackpool South, the whip was removed from Scott Benson over a lobbying scandal. Peter Bone, again, a former Conservative MP for sexual bullying. Neil Parish for viewing porn, or was it tractors, in the chamber of the House of Commons. Chris Pincher, allegedly molesting men at the Carlton Club. 8 independent MPs, former Tories. What is that saying about your party and the state of British politics this morning?
Well, look, I understand what you're driving at here. As I say, I thought I was coming on to talk about 2 wars in the world, and you're pressing me about some issues which I'm not particularly close to.
Do you think it's funny, Mr. Shapps?
I don't think it's funny. No one said it was funny, Kay.
You were laughing. You were literally laughing because you don't want to talk about this story. You'd prefer to talk about something else. Because, of course, this is yet again another embarrassment for Rishi Sunak and the Conservative Party. We're back to Tory sleaze once again.
You seem to be smirking about it. I'm asking you about the state of British politics this morning.
I'm not. You're just pursuing a line of questioning about something which I didn't come on to talk about because there were 2 wars in the world going on, and that was what I was principally.
Well, they're not world wars at the moment, are they, Mr. Shapps? And I'll come on to those. I want to ask you about your party, previous Tory MPs, who have at least 8 of them are now independent MPs, and I've listed why they are not any longer representing their constituencies as members of the Conservative Party. And I'm asking you what people in those constituencies should be thinking about the Conservative Party ahead of the next general election.
I think you're trying to draw a thread between all of them. There are MPs from other parties who've experienced similar problems or misdemeanors, and it's right that there are processes in place. But I can't really add much to this. As I say, in this particular case, action's been taken with the whip withdrawn, and no doubt the investigations will take place.
Okay, so what was missed here is that the Conservative whip knew about this. It seems they knew about it since the beginning of the year. So why did this particular MP remain in place even though the whip knew about these allegations? Why is it only coming out now? It's probably only coming out now because the media are pushing it. Journalists are reporting on it. See, this is all to be hidden away. Don't talk about it. Hopefully it will all blow over. Now, there are a number of questions here when it comes to people like this particular MP and others. What sort of vetting process does the Conservative Party have? Do they actually have a vetting process? Now, many of the scandals of late are related to the 2019 bunch. Remember, Boris Johnson, when he took over, he kicked out a lot of the old party members and replaced it with new ones. And in 2019, you ended up with people like Lee Anderson, Scott Benton, and others. So not all of the scandals are related to them, but a significant number are. Which begs the question once again, what sort of vetting process is there in place to filter out dodgy individuals like this? When it came to Chris Pincher, why were people protecting him? Why was Boris Johnson protecting him until it became no longer possible? And then we had other allegations when it came to, for example, bullying and Dominic Raab. Why was the party protecting individuals like Dominic Raab and others right up until the moment when the media were saying we need to do something about this, or you need to do something about this? So they refused to come clean. They refused to hold these people to account until there is media pressure or pressure from other political parties. It's an absolute scandal. It's an absolute disgrace. And once again, it's another embarrassment for Rishi Sunak. And it seems to be embarrassment after embarrassment after embarrassment, almost on a weekly basis. He's constantly firefighting. It makes more sense just to call a general election now and, avoid a lot of these problems that you're going to have to face further down the road. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.